A visionless person is actually a shapeless person. Welcome to leadership lesson number 3, leadership that leaders share vision with others. This is a series in which we are discussing, three, types of what we call traits of transformation, leaders who are with a transformation power, or leaders that we call transformation. Now, a leader who has a transformation trait is somebody, as illustrated by Nehemiah, is somebody, number one, we agreed that somebody who is prayerful, and again somebody not only who is prayerful but somebody who shares, who prepares for opportunity. Now, let's go to the third trait of transformative leaders, which we are calling they are what we call they share vision with others. Welcome. This is Marketplace Media, an online platform that engages, equips, and encourages believers to say inawezekana. If this is your first time in here, we encourage you to hit the subscribe button so that every time when we upload a new video, YouTube will be able to notify you. Now, my name is John Kimani. Now, we continue with our discussion of dealing with what we call leaders share vision with others. Very, very important. Now, we need to say a few things here, and I hope you have a pen and a notebook just to grasp or to jot that which will be important, because that which we are sharing right away is very, very important in your life. It doesn't matter whether you are a pastor, whether you are a parent, or whether you are a teacher, or whether you're just an ordinary person in the marketplace. This talk is very, very important. More so if you are struggling with sharing vision with others, if you're struggling with people buying the vision that you have, then this talk or this lesson is very important. And so we urge you to pull a chair and a notebook and grab a cup of coffee and get watching this. This is very, very important. Now, we need to say that Nehemiah's vision was so clear to him. It was very vivid. And because he knew that he needed to build the walls of Jerusalem. And when you look at his vision, not only was it clear to him, but again, it was a vision that was not selfish. It was not, actually, it was geared towards the common good of the remnant. And he made, number 3, he made big sacrifices to accomplish this vision, because we see him living a prestigious job of a cupbearer. Now, before we continue, we need to say that we have a lot of people who we can describe them as suffering from Esau's syndrome. Esau's syndrome. And this is borrowed from Esau, the firstborn of Jacob and Rebekah. Isaac and Rebekah. And we know, and the brother of Jacob, of course. And you know that Esau lost to become a skillful hunter, while his brother chose to stay inland, home with his mother, and he loved indoors. They were complete opposite of each other. And there is an excellent article done by Ebenezer Assam, done in 2018, and the title of the article is The Spirit of Leadership, and he shares 6 characteristics of visionary leaders. And he says that Esau's syndrome will always focus on here and now. For them, it's always today and now. They never see beyond today. They are short-sighted and impassive, because there's nothing about them about tomorrow. And again, they rely on themselves. Just like Esau, they rely on what they are able to acquire. They rely on inborn skills to solve problems instead of relying on the Holy Spirit to help them. Number 3, they always misses the price. For Esau, when he was hungry, he actually sacrificed and actually disregarded or despised his birthright, and so he sold it for one meal of a day. Number 4, they always associate with the wrong people. When you keep on reading the story of Esau, you discover that he married wrong women and got women whom his father did not like. Number 5, Esau's syndrome will not be quick to spot danger. Yet, despite his favored position, he never saw his brother cheating on him on his birthright. How can you sell your birthright? How can you tell the praise of prominence, a praise of blessing for just one single of meal? It shows his naivety. It shows his lack of ability to spot problems in his decision making. Then and that is very, very important for us to understand that this is what happens when we lack visionaries. And it is our hope that we do not belong to that category of men and women who are visionaries. We are living in a time where we are, we mistake between a visionary person and an eloquent person. You need to discover that eloquence is not equals to vision. A visionary person must not be necessarily eloquent, although sometimes we basically mistake that. We need also to add something there very important, that much as we are saying that eloquence is not should not be equated to a visionary person, it is also very important to understand that communication is very important for others to catch vision. And one of the challenges that most leaders face in vision casting is vision casting. Yes, we have the vision. It is so clear in our mind and in our heart. We know exactly what the Lord would want us to do, but then the ability to let it come from our hearts and our minds and put it into mouth in a way that people will buy the vision becomes a challenge to us. Now, we need to say that for Nehemiah, that was not a big problem, because for him, he shared his vision simply and in a timely manner. And just to illustrate that, if we can read with us, just to read this so that we are able to understand that, if we can read Nehemiah chapter 2 verse 17, we'll read the first 17, the next 2 verses. The Bible says, Nehemiah, but when I got back, I said to them, Jerusalem is truly in a mess. Now look at that. The gates have been torn down and burned, and everything is in ruins. We must rebuild the city wall so that we can again take pride in our city. Verse 18, then I told them how kind God had been and what the king had said. Immediately, now note that, immediately. Now look at that, immediately they replied, let's start building now. So they got everything ready. Now that is very, very important for us to be able to read, because we see that one's vision, once Nehemiah shared his vision with other people, we see that everybody bought his vision almost there. I need to repeat that verse 18 again, that they said immediately. I need us to understand and to see that issue, that because for us that is very important, because they are saying immediately when they once Nehemiah shared the vision, we see the people saying yes to the vision, and that is very, very important for us to understand. Let that scripture stay there so that you are able to see it. And just to understand and ask ourselves, how comes that once Nehemiah shared his vision, that everybody said yes to the vision? This is Marketplace Media, and if you're looking for a live streaming gadget, a CCTV installation, computer gadgets, computer repair, or computer advice, please look no further. Contact us, Freshworld Computers, on 0722 399 091. We are located along Tomboya Street, in Dominion House, opposite Imenti House, shop number 10C. Freshworld Computers, we've got you. And we are very happy that these are the official sponsors of this broadcast, and we encourage us that when you go to them, please remind them and please tell them that you got this broadcast from them, because then they should be able to give you a discount. Okay, very, very important for us to be able to understand. Now we continue and say the following, because this is very important. How do, because it is very important for us to be able to ask ourselves, then how did Nehemiah able to share the vision? What are the principles? Because it is very important for us to be able to understand what is it that we say and what is it that we do not say, so that we are able to sell our vision. Remember, we've said that selling a vision is a big headache for most people. It's a very big headache, and once you are able to master the skills, and the skills that we are about to share are simple, they are learnable, they are transferable, you can be able to do them, and you do not need to worry if you don't score well when it comes to vision. Listen to these principles. These are very important. Principle number 1 is make it plain to them. Now listen to this. People don't buy a vision they do not understand. And so the goal of making the vision plain is to make people to understand the vision. Remember that people cannot buy a vision that they cannot understand. Now Nehemiah, when you read the 2 verses, you see that he made the people to understand the problem. He made them to understand the challenge that they were facing. In other words, he made the problem visible. They were able to see it. And once the people were able to see the problem, because he is saying, see the disgrace, see the shame, see the embarrassment that we are going through. He was able to make them to see the problem. He is telling them, see the trouble that we are in. And once people are able to see the vision, once the people are able to see what you're talking about, then they will be able to buy the vision. And there are several traits or techniques or strategies that we can use to be able to sell a vision. Number 1, you can use charts, you can use photographs, you can be able to take the people right there, you can be able to create an impression, an artist impression, so that the people can see the end product. Or you can be able to take the people, especially if you want people to support you, maybe with the charity, you can take them to the problem, to the problem area, so that they can see it. So do all what you can to make the problem visible, or to make the vision visible to them, because people will not buy a vision they cannot see. Now principle number 2 is make it public to them. Now please understand this, the people do not buy a vision they cannot see. In other words, we are saying, once you make the problem, once you make the people to see the problem, and once let it go, let it become public. You know, Nehemiah is saying, see, it means people were able to understand, they were able to see it. We are saying, make the solution of the problem visible. In other words, let the people see the vision that you are about to implement. Put the vision on paper. If you don't tell everyone, then it will not be known. We are saying, spread the gospel. If you paint big things, it will attract big men, and the reverse is also true. So it is very important for you to go out there, lobby. You see, for politicians, they are very good in this, because one of the things that they do, they will talk about they will come up with good names, Kenya Kwanza, Azimio la Umoja, you know, they will talk about TNA, you know, those kind of naming and branding are all in the name of making the vision visible, the solution possible, you know, and make it easy for people to remember. Number 3, principle number 3 is make the people own it. People don't buy a vision if they don't own it. In other words, you need to make the people to carry the vision. You know, the vision that God has placed on your shoulders cannot cannot, and we need to understand that cannot be accomplished single-handedly. And so it is very important for you to understand that once God gives you a vision, there are people, specific people, not everyone, whom God have lined up to carry the vision. In a later another time when I was watching Joshua Selman, Apostle Joshua Selman. He was talking about those kinds of people, the people who comes along to buy or to carry the vision. Among them are burden bearers. Among them are destiny connectors, destiny helpers. Among them are men of influence. You know, people who just say a word and everything just goes on well for you. And so it is very important for you to be able to locate, to be able to spot those people. And once you spot those people, you encourage them and help them so that they are able to carry the vision. Remember, and this is important, and for us to repeat, that God do not want you to carry this vision single-handedly. He has lined up men and women for you, for them to carry the vision with you. So number 4, principle number 4, very, very important. Make it possible for them. If the vision sounds impossible, people won't buy it. And so what are we saying? So make the vision affordable. In other words, open the eyes of possibilities to the people. And for Nehemiah, he told them of the kindness, of the goodness, of the favor, of the provision, and the permission that the Lord that he had received. In other words, he told the people, we are not starting from a scratch. We have permission. We have the permission from the king, that the king has made this provision. You know, and so in other words, he was telling them it is not very, very hard. In other words, don't sow seeds of impossibilities. Don't make the vision become so hard, you know, because it will keep the people, you know. And one of the things in which you can be able to make people to own the vision is to brainstorm with the people and ask them what are the best ways in which we can be able to solve this problem. Number 5, principle number 5 is make it passionately. Make it passionately. Why? If people don't feel the vision, they can't buy the vision. And so the solution, the remedy, is make the people feel the vision. And how do you do this? You connect to their emotions. You see, Nehemiah was a master when it came to appealing to the emotions of the people. He said, see the disgrace, see the trouble, see the challenge, see the humiliation we are going through because of these broken walls. In other words, he told them, once we rebuild the walls, our dignity, our respect, our honor will be restored. We'll feel like men and women that have been chosen by God. And he did the vision in an appealing manner. He did it in a way that appealed to them. You see, this whole issue of messaging is very, very important. Remember those times when they were talking about, they were advertising Paka Power, and they said something very interesting, something very inspiring. They used to say, Paka Power, never say it die. Look at the way they advertise vodka. I don't know whether it is vodka. They say Johnny Walker, keep walking. See, these are inspiring. You remember a while ago when they were advertising a cigarette, a brand they used to call Sportsman. They used to say Sportsman ni sawa haswa. You know, that kind of messaging, that kind of crafting of words that are appealing, that make people feel special, that makes people feel want to buy the product. Now remember, effective communication saves 80% of organizational problems. And so it is very important for you as a leader to spend a lot of time crafting and thinking and building your communication skills. Now, for you to be able to appeal to the people, for you to be able to present the vision passionately, you need to remember that in the formal presentation of your vision, you need to observe 3 important tips. Number 1, you need to present it passionately. You need to talk with fire, with energy, with excitement. Because if you lack the passion, if people feel that you're not excited about what you're saying, then they are not going to buy the vision. They will actually doubt it. And we are saying, speak from your heart. Don't speak from your head. Otherwise, if you don't, people will discard the vision. That is very, very important. Number two, you need to paint it big. You need to talk big things, which only will require the miracles of God for it to happen. If you talk small to the people, people will despise the vision. Very, very important. And then number three, when you're standing to make a formal presentation, not only do you need to present it passionately, not only do you need to paint it big, but again, number three, very important, you need to paint it confidently. You need to talk in terms of possibility. You need to tell them like Obama, yes, we can. You need to say it like Peter Kenneth, yes, tunaweza make. You need to say it, yes, you need to say it like Raida, yes, inawezekana. You know, to go out there and do it like giddy giddy, that we are unbogable. And why? Because if you don't talk possibility to them, what is going to be in them is doubt. You need to talk like the current president of this country. I have no doubt in my mind. You need to speak with confidence, because if you don't, people will be confused, and what the people will do, they are going to disregard your vision. Okay? Number six, principle number 6 of presenting your vision, you need to make it prayer free. Now listen to this. People cannot buy your vision if you have not prayed for it. You need to pray for the vision before you tell to them. You need to say, you need to spend some time in prayer, asking the Lord, God help me, that as I stand before them, that I'm going to do it with conviction, that their ears will be attentive to hear the words of my mouth. Remember, it is not the power of the people that completed the world. Please, that is very important. It is the power of prayer. And you need to pray as soon as you catch the vision. Pray as you plan for the vision, and pray as you present the vision. Pray as you implement the vision, and pray as you complete the vision. And again, pray as you hand over the project. Pray in the boardroom, pray along the road. In other words, pray at all times. Very, very important. This is Marketplace Media, an online platform that engages, equips, and encourages believers to say, inawezekana. If this is your first time being here, we encourage you to hit the subscribe button so that every time when we upload a new video, YouTube will be able to notify you. My name is John Kimani, and we just want to wish you well, and remember what we always say here.